Brandon. I'm a longtime technology journalist working in the deep tech space. And I am just excited to be here and have you guys all join us. Umesh, you want to go next?
Yeah, so I'm Umesh Lokhande from Pune, India, and I basically deal with embedded software and hardware. So that's quick. It's been 10 years I've been into the embedded. Thank you.
Great. Peter, you're up.
Hello, I'm Peter Dvorak from Czech Republic. I am freelancing hardware design engineer.
Cool. Shrisha, you want to say hi?
Hi guys, I'm audible, right? So,
Yep.
Yes.
yeah. So I am Srisha from Bangalore, India. So I'm an embedded engineer. So I work on IoT stuff and like BLDC motors and stuff. Yeah.
Great. Navdeep, you want to go?
Yeah, hi. I'm from Bangalore, India. I work on hardware side of things, on or at work, and anything with electronics is a hobby, and trying around content creation and stuff like that.
Cool. Abhishek, you still with us?
Hi, I am Abhishek and I do IoT and embedded Linux. I'm more of an application guy. I build applications around it, embedded firmware level.
Great.
Yes.
Christoph, you want to say hi?
Yeah, sure. I'm Christoph. I'm co-founder of Beetle IDE, which is a new IDE for microcontrollers.
Cool.
And I'm working on that for the past 6 years now.
Joseph?
Okay, I'm Joseph Obunna. I'm a hardware and IoT engineer. I design IoT devices mainly, and I'm also starting up a business. And yeah, that's me.
Thanks, man. Ravi, you want to say hi?
Hi everyone, myself Ravi Ranjan. I mostly work for the I work as the embedded hardware engineer. I am mostly work with in the RF product projects and also for the biomedical projects.
Great, thanks a lot. KL.
Hello, sir. I'm Nagaraju, and I'm pursuing my BTech in Triple IT, and eagerly love to learn IoT and robotics. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. And if I didn't get you because the screens are moving a little bit around, I'm sorry. Oh, Pradeep, I don't know if you're signed up for, oh, there you go.
Yeah. Hi all. My name is Pradeep Kumar H and Bangalore, Karnataka, India. Presently, I'm working in automotive industry in embedded domain.
Great. Welcome. Purnima, Sikandar, anybody else who doesn't have the audio video enabled, you can say hi in the chat or not at all if you don't want to. But let's get right into the topic of discussion for today. So this is, I basically gave you a preamble already of what's there. So let's just jump right in. Engineering hero. Umesh, I think who your engineering hero is. Do you want to share a little bit about that person, and then also any other technology mentor and how they may have influenced your career?
Yes. So I have to go first, and yeah, I think many of all of you may agree at some point in time when you start your career, you look out for people who inspire and admires you, because I don't personally feel that embedded system is that easy, and most of people I have seen motivated people, they always have somebody which they look out for and they inspire and then they continue. So in my case, there were a lot of people came in, like a couple of my seniors in the universities, then my first boss who have mentored me in my first internship and master thesis, in Germany. His name was Bert Borkamp. He was very good guy. But one person really stand out in my life is Jerry Ellsworth. And I'm not sure whether you know or not. I'm very hardcore and outspoken about, like if I go anywhere, I speak about her because I think she's really interesting personality. As her whole life she worked on different projects and she kind of shared everything on her YouTube channel. And also the reason why I see her as an inspiration for myself is because she keeps building companies. Okay. And it just doesn't matter whether the venture and the company really works out or not. It just really doesn't matter to her, and she keeps building one company after other. There are some companies she built where she had some funding, the other ones she doesn't have funding. So it really inspired me. For me, um, Jerry Ellsworth is really something that I inspire. So any point in time I feel uh, dead end, whether it's a technical project or even entrepreneurial, bad experiences in life, I look out for her. Maybe watch some of her very old video. Uh, I watch many times, even if it's a repetitive. Yeah. So that's.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Very good. So I want to see if we can all share a little bit about who our, engineering hero or technology mentors are, and then come back around and see, how you go about engaging those people, right? So I guess the next person up, Petter, do you have a engineering hero, or were you just born as a hardware design god?
No, don't be crazy, please. I'm not a god. I'm just a regular guy, and the more similar things like that just put me underground because I'm not an expert. I'm nobody. I've been thinking about the question for a while when Umesh was speaking about his heroes. I think I can say probably somebody who already moved from the hardcore design battles. Like, I don't know, the first one who came to my mind was Zachariah Peterson from the Altium Designer or similar companies. He is a physicist and really knowledgeable, and I think he moved a bit from the hardware design to the area of like media or spreading information across the community and supporting the big company. So something like that, because I can't see myself as being hardware designer until end of my days, because it's too energy demanding and too exhausting. And so somebody who moved a bit from the hardware design.
This person, Zachariah Peterson.
Yes, that Zachariah Peterson from Altium. Yeah, that guy.
Awesome.
That guy. But yeah, just a person who came to my mind. Basically, everyone who was strong enough to quit the hardcore design life and move to another career, because this is what I think is the most important thing, to be strong enough to make us a thick black line behind the previous career and to start something new.
Yep, starting something new is always takes courage. Navdeep, who do you look up to?
Oh, yeah. For me, still in the early part of career, it has been multiple people throughout, university or whenever I encounter someone at certain events also. So probably started with, and I had interest in electronics from childhood. Probably because of a lot of toys or so, I got interested in what is inside. Let me look into it and things like that. But really, mentioning person, probably I was introduced to real programming like Python, C program also during college. So in my first year, I had a professor named Pradeep. He was a PhD from University of Dakota, and he used to come to class without like no books, nothing. Just he would always wear similar type of formal shirts and walk in with just one marker and shut down light on like Python programming, just like that. So yeah, the classical way of teaching. So I was thinking like if I have to learn programming, it should be like this. So and I should bug him a lot and talk like what makes you like this and why are you using this unorthodox way of teaching and so, yeah, that was something cool. And after that, um, I was active over social media and LinkedIn and stuff like that. So I met Adam Taylor. So after that, whenever he organizes any events or webinar, every time I used to attend his webinar without fail. And probably I used to close my eyes and get the kit which he suggests, and yeah, and that was happening. So the first one of the first workshop which I attended was the a pink design workshop. So it was based on FPGA board. So before knowing air like what is FPGA, I just ordered the board. My sister happened to give that to me. I bugged her a lot and made her gift it to me. I was still in first year of college, and yeah, she luckily it was during COVID, and she gifted me that, and I just signed up for his workshop and started with that. So that's probably yeah, when that happened. And I very frequently follow his content. It's nice how he keeps things very open source. Of course, he does his consultancy business and stuff like that in embedded, but very vocal about what he does and keeps posting things every twice or thrice a week about what's happening in his lab and stuff. Then after that, probably then little into entrepreneurship. While doing cycling and stuff like that, I met an interesting person called Ganesh Shankar. So he's an entrepreneur in Bangalore. He has certain like very unorthodox behavior of using cycle only. He's around 40 and he doesn't have like a two-wheeler, four-wheeler license. Still cycles to everywhere and runs his business and he made a good amount of money by selling for the companies and stuff like that. So yeah, this type of people keep me inspiring and talking to them is always fun and taking.
So you definitely needed a technology mentor once you got an FPGA that you didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I definitely knew.
Awesome. Christoph, how about you? Sorry, what's that, Navdeep?
Yeah, that's just a blind hit. I tried like let me get this first and figure out how to use this by attending his workshop. Yeah.
Christoph.
Yeah. In terms of technical heroes that I look up to, I have two in my life, and you can see them in this comic. I'm going to post the link here. Can you guys see the link in the chat?
Yes.
Yeah, let me share it.
Yeah. So, yeah, this comic actually is about the story of Beetle, and you see there the first page of the comic, the shop iTech. This was a shop in my city, Leuven, where the owner of the shop sold basic electronic components. You can find really everything there, like transistors, LEDs, chips, you name it, anything. And the owner didn't just sell these components, but he also helped people to to make your first steps in designing a circuit. And I remember staying at his shop for like more than an hour, and he would explain to me why a certain circuit is not working and how I could do better. And he helped me in so many things, like helping me to choose my first soldering station and teaching me how to solder. And he was so much more than a shop owner. He was really a mentor. And That's why I also mentioned him in the comics there. And then if you move further, you will see then Johan showing up on a little bit more down. Yeah, there at the bottom, that's Johan. So Johan joined a Beetle company, and he made the code parser in Beetle. So basically the part of Beetle that analyzes the source code and provides provides all the functionalities of the IDE that you can think of. You know, like you click on a function and you can jump to the function definition, for example, or you click on a variable and you can figure out where the variable has been used or where it's defined, etc. But I met Johan at my first job, and back then it was the first time I had to program a microcontroller, and I had no clue where to start. And Johan helped me to learn embedded C programming. So yeah, that was really, really great. He was my colleague at that time, and I was just a junior, first job, no clue. And I was very happy that my older colleague Johan would take his time to tutor me, basically. And then, yeah, when I started Beetle company, of course, Johan was one of the first people I thought about to invite to join the company, and luckily he wanted. So yeah. So those two people are really have been crucial in my career, in the early days of my career. Bert from the shop iTech for the hardware part, and then Johan for the software part.
That's great. Thanks so much for sharing that. Abhishek, how about you?
Yes. So right now still we are in the beginning of our career. So I like to take you all to a journey where where it all starts, where the curiosity starts. It all began when there used to be a show which used to come, frequently asked questions, FAQ, at this local telecast show at what I think 2010 around. Before that, FAQ. That guy was basically Pratik Sethi. He is basically a designer, and that guy is one guy with a robot and does stuff, makes children's and other learn science. That was the initial point where I started okay, this is interesting. The science part of it is interesting. Few years later, I came to know about another guy who had a TED talk of around I think 17-18 minutes. uh, Pranav Mistry. Right now he's doing really good. At the time, I got to know about him in the beginning of 2010s, I think 2011 2012, because of what he had posted on TED Talks, as he had created some projection kind of a thing where he tries to basically the apples, this thing, rather than putting onto the eyes, it was like one projector on the t-shirt and then having some colored markers onto the fingers, and having a virtual world in front of you. So that was one thing which made me that was this can also be happening, electronics part of it, basically that got me into the electronics part of it. Then it all started to the other things, okay, what all is there. Then slowly my graduation came. I got interested into Arduino and stuff. I went to the uh, actually, to be honest, binary updates was one of the points where I started looking to the embedded stuff. And then there was another person who, that was a great experience for me to I knew Umesh sir from what 2017 2018, and that was the point. Okay, it went to from that time to today. So much time has been passed, and now I am with him. Similarly, with another person who made me learn ROS from YouTube again. He is this. Mm, he- I'm forgetting his Piyush Tople. Yes, so he again runs a company from Pune and he works upon ROS. Before they used to teach ROS on YouTube. Now they run their own company. They run their own consultancy. I met him in the ROSCon as well, and that was again a great this thing for me. So at multiple steps, multiple people came. They they just unveiled a new domain which made me feel curious about. And then it's always the projects, which projects we work upon. So yeah, basically the people who come at the early life makes us think in a way where we like either become curious about them or like we ignore them. I luckily became curious about them. Yes.
That's great. Thanks. Shrisha, do you want to go?
Yeah, the one guy who comes to my mind first, and like, because I like, even from the childhood, I feel like whenever I got the access to the internet, basically from that moment, the guy who comes to my mind is EVB Blog. He's the guy who comes to my mind. So like, he has so many videos on internet, basically thousands of videos produced, all of them technical, most of them, like all of them technical. Either it covers a point of electronics or mainly electronics. So yeah, so he has all the topics he has covered, most of them. So even runs the blog named EVB Blog. So there are so many peoples there as well, like actively discussing things, stuff. So this is the guy who comes to my mind, like on the top, basically, EVB Blog. So I learned so many things from him. Like, he made me curious, and okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Hello.
Hey. All right. Awesome. Any more, Trisha, you want to add?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we lost his audio.
Yeah. So recently, mostly about. Yeah. Sorry about this.
No, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
We can hear you now.
Yeah. Sorry about this. So recently, nowadays, I follow Phil's Lab. So the hardware design part and FPGA part. So he's doing, like, he also does the very high quality videos on these topics. So these two people come to me in my mind, like, on basically mentor kind of a people. So they have much experience in the industry. Basically, EV Blog has much experience on stuff when and he explains how the industry works as well, some of the places he has worked. And I really like his Australian accent, basically. So that's one of the plus, I would say. Like, he really has a good accent, and I like hearing stuff from him. Is also
and sense of humor,
fulfilling,
always
I
to
would say.
appreciate.
Yeah. Yeah. All Australians, most of them have a sense of humor. Yeah.
So real quick before we move on, everybody, if you could drop the people or the places into the chat or in the discussion thread that we have back in the Discord server, so everybody can learn about and share about your or get to know better your mentor or your hero, that'd be cool. Joseph, do you want to go next?
Yeah. So, okay, let me drop a link first.
Okay.
So, my mentor, sorry. I'm looking at.
Got it.
Yeah, so, okay. My mentor that I really admire is Andre Lamotte. He did one course on Udemy, Crash Course Electronics and PCB Design. So that was actually one of the course that really helped me in my electronics journey. You get, so I learned the basics and fundamentals of electronics. You get, so it was actually a nice experience, and I do actually talk with him via Facebook. He also told me that he's bringing up another course on embedded systems. So by June, July this year, it should be ready. I guess he started the course last 3 years, I guess, after he finished his crash course electronics. So he's a really nice and good and design engineer. And why I really love him is that he keeps everything simple. He breaks down the complex stuff, and um, you can actually understand him even if you have no background at all in electronics. He started his crash course electronics from fundamentals, from the atomic theory, protons, electrons, from physics level. You get, he built up to the design level, even PCB designs and others. So he really helped me a lot. You get, most of the times before I took the course, I normally I just see circuit diagram online. I just take and I build. I don't really understand what I'm doing. You get, so the course helped me and others. So another person that also helped me is Robert Fenarek. Robert Fenarek. He has that has the Fideva Academy. You get, so I took most of his courses also. I took most of his courses and I follow him on YouTube. You get, so these, though there are many more mentors, but these are the two that I can say, yeah, helped me a lot. Yeah, Robert Fenarek, amazing.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
So yeah, Robert helped me in terms of designing advanced boards like advanced boards, BGAs, high-speed boards. You get how signal works, signal integrity, power integrity, manipulating complex stuff you get in design. So he helped me in those areas. So yeah. Then Andre Lamotte built the foundation for me, and Robert helped me advance. So those are my two main guys in hardware.
Thanks for that, man. That's awesome. Ravi, do you want to go? You want to share? Sharing's optional.
Yeah, hi. I have started since uh, 4 years ago, and I also follow same guys, just as you guys, Robert Faranak and EV blog, and from them I learned a lot.
Perfect. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's all. Okay, thanks.
Pradeep, do you want to share?
Yes. Yeah. Previously, like my what I feel like my mentor or like my lecturer, his name is Dr. Venkatrangan MJ. He's from PS University. So like his interest and the way he teaches, I really likes because of he left his job. He previously when he worked in so many companies. Before he left his job, like he's working in Philips Hong Kong. Just to teach the student, he left his job and he came to India and he started his job in lecturing. So yeah, really like the way he teaches now. So like the way he teaches and the way he sees the students and I feel really good because of previously I'm not in embedded domain. After completed my BTech, I worked in fire and safety as a design engineer. After worked 3 years in fire and safety design, suddenly my brother forced to do an MTech. So I joined a PS University, Bangalore. There he's the lecturer. So from him I got an impression like the way he's teaching, right? So I interested more and I left that previous domain and I entered to the embedded domain. So I feel he's my mentor and I like his teaching. Yeah, even other lectures are there, but he's embedded in charge. So I like his the way of teaching. That's it.
Thank you so much. That's great. Okay, so it's interesting to hear the breadth of different mentors and how people engage them. So on the one hand, you have Jerry Ellsworth, who's somebody that Imesh encountered online, right? And then you have
Never met.
right? You have teachers, you have people, bosses. Sometimes happenstance. It seems like a lot of the cases that people are met just by luck. So I want to know how you then go about engaging them. So I want to start with you, Navdeep, with Adam Taylor. So like just now with I think it was Joseph Mentor. He had a LinkedIn. I just reached out to him. I connected with him. Okay, we can start a conversation, right? That may not have been the case when me and Petter and Imesh started, where you could just reach out to these people immediately, and who knows if they'll connect or not, right? But Adam is very visible.
Yeah.
For example, do you have you ever interacted with him? Do you talk to him? Like, what's your relationship like?
Oh, okay. So probably, as I told, I just signed up for his workshop and attended. So in the first workshop, I asked him a bunch of questions that are streamed live over YouTube, and he gave a shout out to my name and read out the question loud. Oh, this question is from Navdeep. And I got happy. Like, I mean, okay, someone someone is caring about my question and addressing it in a live stream and things like that. So yeah, after that, I probably in a limited capacity reached out to him over LinkedIn, and we had a chat a couple of times. Then keep commenting on his post or anything that I feel is interesting, talk to him about it. So mostly it's receiving information, but rarely ever get to talk to him and explore or brainstorm on certain topics.
Okay. Joseph, if you're still here, do you ever reach out to Robert Faranack or any of these or anybody? Do you guys ever reach out to some of these people that you look at as superstars? You know, do you say hi and see if they'll respond?
Yeah, I do reach out to Andre Lamotte, majorly Andre Lamotte, you guys. So I have him on normally on Facebook, you guys. I have him as my Facebook friend, so I do reach out to him. Last time I reached out to him, I told him that when he's bringing his next course, you guys. So she just informed me I can also help for the marketing, you guys, just to create that form of friendship. Yeah, so for Robert Fenarek, I don't really reach out to him, but maybe just in, I guess, a LinkedIn comment, because some of the time he can post something and can just comment and he replies. So that is how us is. But for Andre Lamotte, yeah, I do reach out to him on Facebook and he do respond. And in terms of if I have any technical issues based on I have his course again, I can also like text him. On the course based on any technical issue I'm facing, and within 24, 48 hours, he replies again. So, yeah, we do communicate.
Robert is super good about being responsive. Like he's really good. But
Yeah.
how about you, Mesh? You know, Jerry Ellsworth. I'm assuming you never met her. Hope maybe one day, hopefully. How do you maximize these mentors who are remote, at a distance, right?
Yeah. I never tried. She's I added her to be a LinkedIn friend. It's there. But I think for me, when I see her older video, older experiments like Tesla coil or something, she tried to build her coil or something. I think that's good enough for me. I mean, that's what I look for. I mean, that's the nutritions I'm looking for. So I am not planning to write her or meet her. Maybe if I visit United States, maybe that's the reason. That's it, finished. And yeah. Maybe I want to discuss not the technology. I want to discuss many of the topic, like how she raised a capital, and then how was the pressure of building tech companies, tech product, how the pressure comes in when you take a lot of time to build a technical products like virtual reality glasses and putting up into very small glasses and putting up FPGAs, really complex shit stuff, which she usually talked to Cisco's conferences. That's what I wanted to discuss. And maybe it's not right to discuss on maybe chat or something. But I think she will respond, but I don't want. I want much precise. So that's my hero, I don't want to meet hero online. Hi, bye, good morning.
Yeah.
Let's share this live stream and make it viral so that
No, 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 no.
Yes.
You will violate
Brand a tip for you.
EU policies, I don't give rights. I was having today afternoon some meetings with
Let's blur
some
your
colleagues.
face.
No. Yeah, I think all what we look for is inspiration, in my opinion. And mm, maybe we can speak, maybe we cannot speak. Sometimes we don't know about that person is good enough to bring the curiosities out there. And we try to guess, and then we do our part of experiments, right? Like, let's say somebody raised the capital, built a product, and then product doesn't work. I think many things which you don't know, that's good thing. If you know, maybe you don't try. That's also I fear. So if I ask somebody and somebody tells me, oh no, this just doesn't work, and then I will be freaked out. I would not even try. So I love to try and fail.
So I have a technology mentor, even though I'm not a practicing technologist. He's passed away, but his name was Joe Pavlat. And he is actually the president of this organization I do some marketing for right now called PICMIG. So PICMIG is an open standards consortium around hardware. So if you use computer on modules, comms, you're probably familiar with ComExpress. Then a whole bunch of like deep, control type systems like Compact BCI. A lot of these things. When I started, the first publication that I was put on was called Compact PCI and Advanced TCA Systems. So it was basically covering these standards. And Joe was the president of PICMIG and also, very deeply involved in those standards. So I interfaced with him a lot. And one of the advantages that I had versus some of my peers was that I got stuck on this technology that was standards based. And that was the only thing that I was tasked with in my first couple of years. So it's really difficult when you jump into technology, right? There's so many different ways you can go, right? Everything is it's almost like an overload. But Joe really helped me pick up the pieces and give me a foundation so that I could understand which way was up. So I really appreciate him. But yeah, I think one of the points that I wanted to make with this, or was hoping that would come out of this, is that a lot of these people, especially today, are super accessible, right? I mean, if you want to, you can just ping them, and a lot of them are more than happy to communicate back. They'll be busy. Like somebody, perfect example, Pallav Agarwal. So I reached out to him, I don't know, 6 months, a year ago, and he responded and then was sort of like, oh yeah, I'll get back to you. And I was like, oh, well, that's the end of that. Right. But he actually did. He said to me, he said, I'm really sorry it took me so long, but I wanted to make sure that I had time to spend with you and think about and talk to you about what you're doing in a meaningful way. Right. I don't want to just waste your time. So if you reach out to these people more, everybody's busy, but more than likely, they'll be happy to help if they can. And if not, forget them anyway. Anyway, so does anybody else want to add anything or have any questions about how you identify, and then once you've identified, how you maximize? Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Ramesh.
Yeah, I have to add a couple of words which maybe correlate with everyone which Christoph has added. I think every one of us have that one shop in our city where we go and buy components, right? I hope so. And I just want to share a funny story. When I used to go and buy components in my university days, this guy, the shop owner, used to throw me out of the shop because I just used to take a list of components, and then I need this. And these people are super busy because they have to teach people for free of cost. In those back in the days like 2005 or 2006, nobody have a time for all those, teaching you and all. And I think I can correlate with Christoph, right? This guy, even though he hate me a lot whenever I go to his shop, he used to hate me, but he has to help me to buy components and stuff like that. So I think that was a that was an interesting story. Maybe everybody would have that one shop, and right now he's a fan of me. So he was waiting at my company doorstep, and he was like, okay, can I meet this guy? And funny part how the life works, right? Interesting. And now he said, look, I would give you the free components. And yeah, and I used to tell him, like, you used to throw me out of your shop.
So I could have used the free components 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else
Funny.
have anything they want to add on this topic? Okay. All right. So Christoph actually wanted to share an update on Tiny Scarab. He's made some progress. So do you want to go ahead, Christoph, and do that?
Yeah, sure. So maybe I should share my display. Let me try. Okay. Okay. Yeah. This is the current status. So I made quite some progress on the design of the box, and I think it's ready now to go into production. So I will probably order them at GLC PCB, where I also ordered the boards. Well, for the membrane, the graphical part, I'm in contact with GR Panel. So let me show you guys their website. GR Panel. So at GR Panel, you can order graphical overlay membranes, and yeah, just like you would do for ordering a PCB. It's quite an you will recognize the workflow. So you have to fill in the dimensions of the membrane, the quantity, then the material, and so forth and so forth. And then on the right side, you get the price. But this is all very nice. But the problem is that I really want to be sure that the files I upload for the membrane are correct, in the sense that they're manufacturable. So I took contact with this company directly via WeChat. So and then I will hand them over. I'm handing them over the files and discussing about the design. As for the design, I have this here graphic overlay. Well, that's the graphic overlay design. It's well, just a PDF. And then here you can see what it will look like when it's finished. So as for the prices, I think the board itself can be done around $10. The box will be another $10 and maybe $2 for the membrane. So everything together around $22. Maybe I can get slightly lower, but won't be that much. So around $20 will be the cost of production for each unit. And
20
I'm thinking about making the next batch to be 50 units. Right now I have, the first board that arrived works. So I tested it. It's this one here. It works. So that's great. So no redesigns are needed.
Oh, cheers. First time.
Yeah, that was really amazing. So I tried the board and it worked first time, everything. And that's really an amazing feeling because it's usually not like this.
Yeah.
It's like you write the software and you run it and there is no bugs. It never happens, but this time it happened. But I call it paranoid design. So when I design a board, I am double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking everything. I spend so much time on checking everything, and well, it pays off. So yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, the only little error is that the slide switch to select between 5 volts and 3 volts is upside down. So, but it's just a matter of changing the silk screen. That's it. The rest is all correct.
So, Christoph, I had a question. So, the graphic overlay, how was it designed? So, is it similar 3D file or what is it?
Well, I did not. So, for the box itself, I used Fusion 360, which you can see now on the screen. Fusion 360. But the graphical overlay is not designed in Fusion 360. I just imported it there. The actual design I did in Inkscape, which is a free software to draw just anything. Inkscape is very general software. It's a vector graphics software. And I'll show you the design here in Inkscape. Just a moment, it's opening. My computer is working. Okay. There it is. So that's how I designed it. I just made sure that all the dimensions are correct, and then it's just a matter of, being familiar with Inkscape and just drawing. And of course, also following the guidelines. So GR Panel has these guidelines. Let me check for you guys. Here, graphic overlay design rules. So here they explain on the website all the things you have to keep in mind. I'm looking for a particular part. Here, this is where they put all the information together. So, for example, how much spacing you have to keep between cutouts. For example, you have to keep 2 millimeters spacing between cutouts. You have to keep 1.2 millimeter distance from the edge. Then if you have several colors next to each other, they can overlap a tiny bit. So you can, if you want, you can put edges, but I didn't do that. So I'll just accept a bit of overlap. There are a lot of rules and design constraints that they explain on their website. So also for the colors, they stick to the Pantone color schedule. So I never heard about Pantone, so I had to look it up, and it's codes for colors, and you have to use those codes. And that's what I did in my design. So you can see here the Pantone colors that I used. They all have a number, and those are the colors I used in my design. That's it. Yep.
Cool.
So is there a service integrated with GLC PCB? How would you work around getting this, the enclosure, PCB, everything to a
So
place?
at GLC PCB, here, the GLC PCB, I will order two things. The board, obviously, the board, and the enclosure. So for the enclosure, I am, GLC PCB has this 3D printing service. They also have a CNC machining service, but I'm not touching that for the moment. I'm just gonna go for 3D printing. It's simpler. So in the 3D printing service, you can add 3D files. So I export step files from Fusion 360 and then import them here. And yeah, that's it. So at GLC PCB, I order the board and the enclosure. At GR Panel, I order the graphical overlay membrane. And then I have to make sure that everything fits, that the board fits in the enclosure, and that the graphical overlay, that the membrane, I can glue it on top of the enclosure, and that everything fits nicely. So it's a matter of working precisely and yeah, not making errors. That's, yeah, it's a challenge, but I loved it. It's something totally new to me. It's the first time I do this. Before, I never went further than just making a board, and then that's job done. This is the first time I'm actually making a product, and making the product involves more than the board. It involves everything around it to make the board more usable, more yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thanks, Christoph. I gotta get us back on time.
Oh, okay, sure.
All right, guys. So we'll fly through the rest of these things. Just some basic housekeeping. I appreciate everybody contributing today. That's great stuff. A couple of new questions over in the forums. So somebody, Amit Chowdhury 6, needs help with Kavli C16QS development kit. He's actually already engaging with Pallav to some extent in one of the teardown channels, because it happens that Pallav, of course, did a teardown about it. So if you have any familiarity with that, just check out this link. I'll upload it into the forum channel, or the channel related to this meeting, if you want an easy access to that. Some questions here about RTOS. Another one that's been hanging around. This is super specific around the Tuya Smart platform from Flamero, but if you happen to be familiar with or know anything about that, that's somebody who could use some help. Here's what's coming up. We've got some more hardware design tips with the hardware design guy, Peter Dvorak. That's going to come up next week. After that, Lukas Malinowski is going to be showing us some stuff about MQTT. A few weeks out, we'll be having another one around FPGA design designing with FPGAs with Navdeep. And then custom carrier program with Petter is hopefully going to come through here pretty soon. And then programming in C, we're hoping that Christoph and friends will lend some of their knowledge there. Also, teardown channel is up. If you have questions about some of Pallav's teardowns, it's a great way to learn about electronic components and system architecture. So check that out. And then we're in planning stages for a couple of things. Learning hours, a segment through Mesh. That's going to be more tutorial driven, less like open like this, more one-to-many. In-person meetup in Bangalore is something I'm still working on with Pallav and Navdeep. Pallav is trying to secure a space there that we can use to actually host a physical meetup. DevHeads website is coming right along. It's not ready for prime time yet, but we're making a lot of progress. You should be really close next week. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, you can always find me at TechieLou. Continuous improvement. What can we do to improve? Don't be shy. Keep posting your projects, thoughts. Help each other out. Add to other posts. That helps. We're going to, pending this LinkedIn Live activation that I'm working on right now, be streaming these out to the rest of, to the broader LinkedIn community at least, and then potentially through YouTube and some other places. Once I get that all configured, I'm going to publish our server schedule. We've got a bunch of topics lined up for at least the rest of this quarter. So that'll give you a little bit of opportunity to plan and see what's coming up in terms of what's going to be on these and other events. Last thing is things that go in the forum get indexed. So it's actually helpful in terms of getting questions answered and getting us all where we need to be. So does anybody have any questions or comments or anything that they need from the community or the rest of us on this call for that matter? Nope. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you.